Hey, what's up? So I decided I'm gonna do a reading on what's the point of everything I've been through. Why did I have to suffer so much? Like, you know, the old cliche, oh, 'cause like you wouldn't be so strong if you didn't go through all that, or um, you wouldn't have evolved, or I don't know. Like, I feel like I've been through too much and I'm just over it. And sometimes I'm just like, why am I here? Like, what's the point of anything? Because, like, sure, like, I can help other people, but do other people really exist? Is there anybody out there that's like me that actually has a heart and soul and their own mind who isn't a part of this evil energy, icky energy, or is it just me? Because feels like it's just me, and that's annoying. And I'm like, what's the point? Why did I have to go through all this? And like, I don't know, I hate it. Like, I feel annoyed, I feel burden, like a burden, I guess, right? Because I'm the only one who like sees what I see, you know. Other people, they just, I don't know. I guess some people just choose to stay asleep or whatever, and I don't appreciate feeling so. I guess that's what it is. I feel lonely and tired and exhausted and annoyed and frustrated and irritated and just so many dark emotions. And I guess it's also the conditioning of the fact, like, oh, like, um, you're not allowed to feel any emotion other than happy. So I'm trying to, I think that's it. But, I guess I just blame myself too, because I'm like, maybe it was my fault I went through all of this shit. Maybe if I had this or that, maybe if I was smarter, maybe if this or that. I I blame myself. I hold guilt and shame for everything that happened, and I feel like it's all my fault and I could have done better and I could have prevented it and this and that. Which again is like this grape culture mindset, right? So I'm just ugh, I'm trying to decolonize myself and all that, but I don't understand why like evil has to exist, and like why it feels so lonely and why it feels like such a burden, because you know like I have all these blessings and I'm trying to stay positive and like all that, but at the same time I'm releasing so much negative that I don't know, I guess it feels like the bad outweighs the good in a sense. um and it, I feel hopeless, and like no one loves me because no one knows how to love. And, based off knowing what love isn't, I kind of am getting a gist of, I guess you could say, what love is. And it's interesting. Like, it's nice, but why can't it always be good? Why can't it always be nice and feel safe and all that? Like, supposedly you have to feel the lows to feel the highs, but I don't know. Maybe it is just that toxicity, positivity mindset, right? So, I don't know. I'm trying to just figure it out, um, and do my thing. But I flipped the deck over, and this is the card at the bottom of the deck. Black Jaguar, old soul. So I'm feeling a vibe of a lot of power and strength within this Jaguar. The way it's positioned, the way it's staring, and it gives off this very sensual, knowing what they are, who they are energy. Very powerful, very adamant, very graceful, very strategic, knows what they want, knows what they need. It reminds me of a blue lotus, a lotus flower, right? It grows out of the murky waters, right? Which reminds me of her song. I don't know exactly. It's in her album, Back of My Mind. Um, it gives me that really dope energy. And, I feel like sometimes, due to everything I've been through, and I guess, I've either been so, due to suppressing, all I could do was replay that negative conditioning in my mind over and over again. Meanwhile, I project a masquerade of facades that pre- pres- present happiness, express happiness to others, and positivity, right? So I wear this mask where I look like I'm happy and comfortable and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, inside, I'm completely tormented and scared and suffering, right? And that's been a majority of my life. So I feel like with this card, it's kind of like symbolizing that finally I've been able to step into my power and acknowledge who and what I am instead of just sitting back and letting others do the work and become dependent, right? I feel like I hold a lot of blame, but it's not really towards myself. It's actually towards these people, right? It's just been that um, due to so much negative programming, I've been taught to blame myself instead of them. So, you know, it's one thing to take responsibility for taking care of your own actions, but it's a whole nother thing to go out and blame yourself for what happened. And really, as a vulnerable kid, you can't defend yourself from certain things or do certain things. Like, at least not in this world, at least not in this timeline that I'm in. And I feel like I have this escapism mindset, right? Because I so badly want love, and I guess it's that energy of looking for a savior, right? Which isn't going to happen. I am the savior, right? I'm going to save myself. No external thing will do that. Sure, I'll have tools, guidance, but I'm the one that does the work and has to put out this energy to help myself heal and grow and all this stuff, right? And maybe that's it, right? Maybe it is that metaphor of the blue lotus. Speaking of, I actually have some tea. Dope. Um, so, um, it's it's important, right? The blue lotus, right? It's a beautiful flower, um, and yeah, it's truly beautiful. It's magnificent, right? Or I don't know if it's the lotus. Yeah, no, it's the lotus, right? I believe that grows in the murky waters. Like, it literally is put into the most dark in the soil, right? It's hidden and sure these things nutrients, right? And I'm gonna relate it to my life, right? Um, I was planted in this horrible, shitty, I'm gonna call it household, uh, completely groomed and abused, um, which showed me what love isn't, and taught me feelings and emotions, and you know, it showed me two sides of the coin, and to be honest, showed me who and what to trust, um, and how to spot certain things out due to this toxicity of that energy of growing up, right? Or evolving from that. And then I grew into a little plant, started touching water, which was weird because imagine being a plant. You must be so confused going from complete utter darkness into light and knowing how awesome you are and that you can grow from light, right? So it's kind of like you're just figuring out who and what you are, and just growing and evolving. And I guess reaching the top and then doing the whole process again, whether you become a flower, a plant, whatever the fuck. Like, it's, you have to go through that process to learn love again, I guess. But in a way, it just sounds really sick to me that I had to go through all of that just to know what love is, I guess. So it sounds nice, but I don't know. It's just what came into my mind, or I guess, or what's being channeled right now. Which I understand, but at the same time, like, but I hated all that shit that happened to me, and like, I don't know. I guess I just I feel really scared a lot of the time, and maybe it's also just that attachment to fear and thinking, well, maybe this is all I deserve, so maybe I should just fall back asleep into this illusion of 1111. Of this illusion of pain and suffering, right? And thinking that that's all there is, right? And I think that's how a seed feels because they're in the dark for so long, and then all of a sudden they see the light, and they're like, do I deserve to be here? Is this good? Is this heaven? So it's just interesting. Like, it's a good analogy, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to die and go through that again. You know, like, let's say 1144. Let's say I was a lotus, and like I did go through all that. And become a flower, and like I'm beautiful and all this, right? And I don't know, I'm good tea for someone, and help them grow and be a good ale to them or aid, natural remedy. I don't know, but I don't know. All I know is here and now, right? And I feel like I try so hard to know everything because I think that's also the hyper vigilant mindset, because I feel like I have to know absolutely everything now because I don't want to be hurt again. So I absolutely analyze everything, which isn't a complete bad thing because if it weren't for analyzing, I wouldn't know what I do now and I wouldn't feel what I do now. I don't know. It's just like I wouldn't be where I am now if it weren't for these certain things, which could be bad or they could be good, right? So it's kind of like trying to establish a foundation that you built instead of what others have built for you, you know? And that's not necessarily to say it's a good foundation, what they built at least. So it's kind of like breaking down the entire area and just completely starting from scratch, not even knowing what materials to use. And you just kind of go with the flow, going around finding things to work with you, you know, and using your intuition to put it together and like trial and error in order to build whatever it is you need to build. Yeah, I think that's that. I think that's it. Uh-huh. So I'm gonna cut this here. So we got the bottom of the deck card, the Black Jaguar, which says Old Soul. Walk through life with confidence and grace. See, it even says the word grace there. You have power from beyond the world. So I feel like oftentimes we think it's just us, but there's more out there than we know. Just as much as there is evil, there's just as much good. And I think, you know, sometimes we just expect bad over and over again. And when we have good, it just sounds surreal, which is what I'm going through right now. Um, so it's interesting. Yeah, evolution, I guess. Um, focus on what you really want. Okay, so I think that's that. I've been focusing on things that I don't want to happen and that I'm scared of happening, that I haven't been focusing on what I want in my life and what I want to accomplish, especially since I've been misguided this whole time. So now that I have the choice to just sit with myself and do my own thing, it's like, ugh, it's intense and scary, right? You can create your dreams. Yeah, we're the creator, and that's important to remember. Um, I guess it just feels like huge responsibility, and it's also like all the conditioning um, that's made think that like I'm not good enough or this or that. So it's just like, ugh, I have to create this. What if I can't trust myself? I have to depend on them. Blah blah blah. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, so that's Black Jaguar. Um, I would be recording with the other device, 1551. But I recorded on this, so yeah. Otherwise, I would flip the camera, but this doesn't have the option. So yeah. Also, I love you. Take care. Have a good one. Remember how strong and powerful you are, and you know, you're absolutely resilient and brave and honest and beautiful and courageous. So just keep going and do your thing. And remember who and what you are. Okay? That is a goddess and a god. Or, I don't know. Either or both. So, yeah, just remember you're a lot more powerful than you think. So, I love you.